Hello guys, good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today we're going to talk about how to master IV cannulation in just two technique. But first of all, just to let you know, you don't have to start great, but you have to start to be good at it, to be great in putting in needles, in doing vein extraction, phlebotomy, therapeutic phlebotomy, IV cannulation. You have to get started. Whether you're terrible at it or not, no one's ever know what to do the first time they ever do it. And everybody starts terrible. It's not only, you, if you're nervous, if you don't like the job putting in needles. And the key to success to that is, number one, just practice, practice, practice. Just 3 words. Practice, practice, practice. And, let me share you my story. When, after I graduated nursing and I started my job and I put in needles, it's common and usual, normal in the Philippines that you should never hand over any pending to the incoming nurse, especially IV cannulation. That's a no-no. No pending. Because everybody understands, most of the institutions in the Philippines, they're understaffed and we're overloaded with work, and that's part of the job that we signed in. That is why it's important to a work culture not to hand over any pending, especially that IV cannulation, wherein you could always find a way to finish it. Otherwise, to be honest, guys, there are rare moments wherein nobody could ever do or successfully cannulate a patient. You have to call the best of the best people working on your institution before you hand over to the incoming nurse that, look, we didn't make it. I did my best. Everybody have done their best. Plus, your charge nurse could justify that. You have to call everyone. And it's not only for the sake of the job, though. It's also for the patient, so that they can receive the drugs that they have, the antibiotics, to start and complete the treatment. And look, all the masters of the IV cannulation, whatever's that, phlebotomy, therapeutic phlebotomy, vein extraction, they're the same. They haven't mastered it without practice, practice, practice. When you do it every day imagine you do it every day for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, over 5 years, 10 years, putting in needles, all sorts of needles, from smallest to large bore needles. When you do that every day, that skill will be just part of your routine. It's just like brushing your teeth. It will turn out to be like that, I'm telling you. If you do it every day, it's just like combing your hair. It's just part of the routine. And this, the second way you have to consider to successfully put in the needle, whatever the purpose is, putting the cannula so you can give drugs, TPN, whatever treatment the patient needs, or taking bloods, that is phlebotomy, for blood samples sent to the lab, or therapeutic phlebotomy, taking in a bag of blood from the patient. You have over like almost 500 mils, for therapeutic phlebotomy, depending on for what reason, depending on the condition of the patient, that they need to give blood to lessen the iron, or whatever, that's the reason why they have to do the therapeutic phlebotomy. But the second thing that you have to consider to successfully make it is, look, you have to find the right vein. Invest on the right vein, especially to those patients who have a critical condition. Make sure that you put a needle to a vein where you can finish at least your entire shift, that you can give all the medicines to that patient, at least for your entire shift. And look, at least for your entire shift, because it's difficult insertion, you know what? That site would even last longer, 24 hours At least the patient has already, already given and started the treatment. At least maybe after 24 hours, there might be some veins coming out in the future because the patient have already received the treatment. That's how powerful the job is. That's how, important the job is to putting in needles. I wouldn't say that it's everything, but it is important. Not only to you as a nurse working, but for the quality of care and the standards that you render to the human race, to the patient, of course, your client. Just two things. Practice, practice. And the second one is find the right vein to invest in. If you're doing a phlebotomy, just taking samples, look for the best vein, because there are vein that's just going to pop up whenever, burst whenever you put in needles. You also have to know which one is the best. And the only way to really sort that out is to practice. Make it to the point that make it to the point that as you put in needles, as part of your daily living, activities of daily living, it will be just like combing your hair, brushing your hair, or, doing some I'm just brushing my teeth, like I'm putting in needles, just like that. And another thing is that you also have to keep in mind that everybody makes mistakes. Not all of your attempts will be successful as you practice every day. On your duty, on your work, when you're on duty. Even the best of the best, they make mistakes. It's just not their day. But as you do it every day, you know already how to build rapport and trust to the patients and to your colleagues who might, actually going to help you. And since your colleagues, this is teamwork, will be there to help you, happy enough to put in needles in case you fail, it's important to be useful for them in any ways too. Teamwork. Otherwise, you could also cause, other staff from other department. Never hesitate to ask help. This, IV cannulation is not about your own confidence. It's about the quality of care that you give to the patient. So do, the best of your ability. If you can't make it, find someone who can successfully do it so you can start the treatment. So you can, the purpose will come true, whatever the reason why a patient is here is in the hospital. So look, once again, you don't have to start great. Nobody ever know everything the first time they do it. But you have to start to be great at it. I mean, really great at it. You're not going to be a millionaire when you happen to know how to put in needles, but as part of a job, it's a guarantee and an opportunity for you to help and save lives of all the patients that you ever serve. That's the beauty of it. And people might be calling you because, you're really good at it, but it's a skill. You have to do it every day. Otherwise, if you stop practicing IV cannulation, doing phlebotomy, in some point, you stop practicing it for like maybe a couple of months or a year, and then you have to start again. I'm not saying that you'll be terrible at it. You have to gain the confidence that you have before you stop putting in needles, building your confidence. But otherwise, as you get along, do it over and over again. It will be just like brushing your teeth. And myself, I'm not the best of it. I'm just sharing to you how I learned, how I finally appreciate the beauty of it after over 10 years of doing it. I'm like, it's never going to be easy if I don't do it every day, if I don't do it when I work. If I've never done it every day, if I've never done it before, it would be the most difficult thing to do in my whole life. One of the most. And I'm telling you guys, after you graduate and it's your first time to put in needles. That could be the most unforgettable moment in your life. And, as you go along, as you practice putting in needles, not everybody, not all patients, not all of them were all going to be satisfied. You just treat it as, work. Work at the best of your ability. Nobody's gonna be happy when a needle is put into their vein. It could be scary sometimes. But as a nurse, when it's part of your job, you better be good at it to successfully finish your job. Plus, you can send the patient home in improved condition. So, that's what I've learned after all. And I've started out from zero. And up to this point, I couldn't even say that I'm a hero, zero to hero. I couldn't even say it's a hero. I'm a hero. No. I could say that over 10 years of doing it, I could say it's just like brushing my teeth. And I could still make a mistake. I could still mess up. But I know also that I could finish the job. So I hope I shared something valuable today. If you ever love this episode, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, even in X, Reinforce Me Club. By the way, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you. Don't give up. That's very important. Not only in putting in needles, in all aspects of life that you want to be really good at it, that nobody can ignore you. Do it every day. Maybe you can dedicate your life to it. And to the point that it's time to share and teach that valuable skill that you have. Thank you very much for your time.